Loud. So, Nishant, good evening and welcome to this debriefing session. And congratulations on 740, a wonderful score. It was a long journey. It took some effort, but you're finally there. So, you must be really, really happy.
Yes, I am, Rajat. I'm very pleased with my score this time now. And my GMAT journey started in 2015. This was the first time I started going out to a coaching class, in classroom coaching class. But all the time I was in the coaching class, I never felt that I could get above a 650 or so.
Okay.
That was never a level of preparation of mine. And even with giving all the tests and everything, I was getting around 650, 660, which I said, okay, let me try and see what the scores are like in the real GMAT. But when I went in the first time round and I scored a 570, there were many reasons because of it. Because the test center was a horrible test center rather.
Where was
and
this?
It was Diwali time.
Where was this?
This is in Gurgaon.
In Gurgaon, okay.
Yes, so people were bursting crackers. It was a college, so people were bursting crackers. The guy beside me went bonkers and he started banging his keyboard. So couldn't do much in that score. Yes, so I had to cancel that score anyways. I wasn't getting anything out of it. The second time attempted, I think it was later of this score. I think I attempted in January.
January 2016, yes.
It was, I think, according to my preparation levels then. So at that point in time, I scored a 630. I wasn't happy about it, but I was okay with it in terms of my preparations level. I knew my preparation level wouldn't get me anything beyond 650. I said, okay, 630 is a decent score according to my preparations. I knew I wasn't getting any business schools with this. I was definitely not getting into business schools. So I said, okay, I'll start doing some self-study rather than going to any in classroom coaching as such. So I started doing Manhattan books. I took up reading to forums on the GMAT Club. I took up reading GMAT Club maths book, and I started doing all the self work rather than taking any help as such. And here I was going through the usual tricks of splitting the sentence, looking at the first words, the last words, and trying to remove the erroneous choices. So that was the thing that I was going through. And after that, I think the last GMAT prep test I gave, it gave me a 690, and that was the score I got on my actual GMAT as well.
What was the split in this attempt?
49-34, quant 49, B 34.
Okay, 49-34. Okay. All right.
So I decided I probably had a pretty decent GMAT score. I might have a shot at some business schools after this. And I did apply to business schools with this scores.
Which schools did you apply to?
I applied to Rotman in Canada.
Okay.
I applied to Tuck. I applied to ISB, LBS, London Business School, and SMEAL. I also applied to MSU Broad.
Okay.
Okay, so these were the 5 to 6 schools that I applied to at that point in time. And if I'm not wrong, this was a test that I took in August of that year.
August of 2016, I see that, yes.
Yes, August of 2016. So I did not have much time. I had to apply by round 1 and round 2. I had also to give my TOEFL. And after that, I was going to apply to all these colleges. So round 1, I applied 2 colleges. That was Tuck and one other college. The rest of the 4 or 5 colleges I applied in the round 2. Yes, I applied to ISB in round 1, ISB and TUC in round 1.
Okay.
I got an interview call from ISB, but I did not convert it. And from TUC, they did not give me an interview call, but they sent me a really decent feedback. Sorry?
Did they say apply next year?
They said apply next year. We would also like to give you a feedback about your profile.
Yes.
In that sense also. They spent some, and they said we give this feedback to only 10% of our applicants. So it's not that we give it to everyone. So we'd like to, see you next time as well. So I spoke to them about my profile and I got an idea. The rest of the guys, like London Business School, didn't call me back. They didn't send a nice letter also. So it was a pretty harsh letter.
TUC is a very unique school that does that. It's I love the culture over there. Having been there, having spoken to people at TUC, it's a very, very different mindset that even the admission officers have. They look at you as human, frankly.
Right. And so LBS didn't call up, Rotman didn't send anything, and MSU Broad rejected. And I had SMEAL for an interview call, which I couldn't convert. I was put on a waiting list and I couldn't convert that. So that was my story till February of 2017.
Okay.
That was my last interview with SMEAL. I took a 2 months break or so, and I decided that I need to go do this again, GMAT again. I took up the e-GMAT course, I think around June or July of 2017. And at that point in time, I got a lucky break in terms of I broke my leg. So I was sitting at home for 3 weeks. And that is the time period that I started finishing all my e-GMAT courses in quick succession, because I was at home at all the 3 to 4 weeks. So I finished the courses. I started my GMAT prep tests. I was scoring a decent score of 710, 720. And that gave me the confidence of, going into the test as well. So I went to the test. I think the anxiety of not doing the last 3 times got me up in that 690 test, in the sports 690.
Yeah, we got a 690 again, yes.
Yes, I got a 690 again. And I was pretty unhappy with that because this was not my preparation levels. If you look at my previous scores, I would say they were okay according to my preparation levels, but this was not. This was definitely a 720 to 730 going in. I said, okay. And after the 4th exam that I gave, I said, okay, maybe I don't know if I need to do it again, but let's try. Okay. I took another break. I was on an official holiday from my company itself. I took my family and we went to Mauritius for 2 weeks time. I came back. So I have a site-based job, right?
Yeah,
so
I can see that.
Yeah, so I have a 21 day schedule and I do it once in 3 months or so. And I have to go to the site to do this, to do my job. At this site also, I started studying again, understanding what my weaknesses were, and figuring out what went wrong in that second 690, which is the 4th attempt.
Which is the 4th attempt, yes.
Which is the 4th attempt. And I also got my ESRs and I sent it to Payal for a review. So she gave me a decent amount of feedback on what went wrong and what did not, what worked, what did not work. So that gave me a lot of understanding about how I approach that test.
Okay.
And once I figured it out, I think I sat down again, I prepared myself, and I only worked on my weaknesses, not on my strengths. I did not give much.
What did you learn from your ESRs, by the way?
Okay. So ESRs, I felt confident that I was good in SC, but that was not the case. My SC was at a 57th percentile. My CR was at a 97th percentile. And my RC was at a...
your ESR. We discussed this. So Payal and I discussed this. So.
Oh, you did. Okay. So that was me. Yes.
Yeah. So then tell me, what did you learn from it though? So SC was one thing.
No, my SC was good given time. Okay, I was not doing it well in time. That is what I learned. The second thing was that I wasn't spending enough time on my RCs. And what was happening is, let's say I was reading a whole passage within 2 minutes, 1.5 minutes or 2 minutes. I was trying to solve the questions within those time as well. That was taking a lot of time for me. And because of that, I was not able to spend as much time on SC. So that is what was getting...
Payal and I remember discussing this. So Payal was the one who had this case, and then she came over and said, Raju, this is what I think it is. And we did a bit more analysis, looked at your, I think, Scholaranium data as well.
Yes.
And then I think... so we discussed, agreed on a certain bullet points, and then she crafted the response, I guess. But yeah, I remember that one. Yes.
Yes. So my Scholaranium scores at that point in time for SC was around 78%. CR was 70%, and RC was down in the dumps at 50%, rather 49%. So obviously I wasn't doing, as in I'm talking only about the ability scores here.
But then remember, when you're taking the ability quizzes, you're not as time constrained. Time spent on other section is not impacting this. So your ability was there.
Yes. Maybe, as I was saying, right, I probably got anxious while keeping up with the test. What caused all this agony in the end, right? So yes, I figured out where I was weak at. SCs and RCs, I needed to spend the most time, not CR. So I only practiced very few questions of CR during the build-up. I kept on my practice till or for SC and CR, SC and RC for all the time, for most of the time then. So that was the learning. The another thing was in my second 690, my score of quant dropped from 49 to 48.
Okay.
And that was something of a, that was something not that I expected, right? I wanted to go from a 49 or stay at a 49, not go down from a 49 to 48. So I had to work on my quant again. So yes, so in that 740 split right now, I have a Q49, V41.
Yeah, 94 percentile on verbal. That's great.
So that's what happened. Yes, that's a build up to my whole story. Yes,
Okay.
so that's been there for I think 3 years now. Yes.
So tell me one thing. When you were studying from Manhattan books, so you said you used the split strategy and all of that piece.
Yes.
As you went over to the e-GMAT course, did you change your focus to a meaning-based approach? Did you do pre-thinking?
Yes. So as I said, right, I was doing well on CR and it showed on my ESR, right? So
97 percentile.
Yes. So my CR was based on completely on e-GMAT strategy. Read the argument, understand the conclusion, negate the conclusion, and pre-think. So that's what I was doing for CR, and I had got that process figured out to the core. Okay. For SC, I was trying to do the meaning-based approach, but I was taking a lot of time. Okay, so I was trying to break the sentence into clauses, trying to find out if each clause has a verb or not, and I was trying to do all of that plus find the meaning. That was taking me a lot of time, and that probably showed on the GMAT test. I was spending
on the fourth attempt, yes.
On the fourth attempt, on the 690 fourth attempt, that showed up. On the RCs, I was using the e-GMAT's RC strategy, reading strategies. But one thing I was missing was I was trying to read too quickly through. I was trying to comprehend, but I was like trying to read too quickly. That is a really important point because in one of the debriefs I read or I heard somewhere that someone took up 3+ for a shorter passage and 4+ minutes for a longer passage. I tried to apply that strategy to my own. Once I applied, let's say, 4+ minutes to a longer passage, I figured out that I was gaining a lot more along. So this was used in conjunction with the e-GMAT's reading strategies. Okay. Once I did that, I was gaining a lot more from the passage, and I could answer the question within 30 seconds. It wasn't taking 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes to figure out which paragraph to go to and where to pull the answer from. I was doing it from my memory within 30 seconds and only coming back to the paragraph.
Very interesting point, because I mean, that's what we do. So we don't time ourselves when we are reading. We time ourselves after we have read how long I would take to get to the right answer. And if you're taking a lot of time over there, then we are not reading things right. So something that we need to add to the piece where you said, hey, don't read fast, then modulate your reading speeds based on you because if you're not doing that, if you're trying to read fast while applying those strategies, the strategies don't really provide as much benefit then. Because the strategies are a means to an end, and the end is comprehension. And if you're reading fast, then you're not really using that means properly.
Correct. I agree. I completely agree with your point now. Talking about RC specifically. Okay. So the 4+ minute strategy was working perfectly for me. What I did, so earlier what I was doing in this fourth attempt when I got the 690, I was not timing my reading. I was only timing my time to answer the question. Okay, so I read a paragraph. I don't care how much time I've taken to read the paragraph, and I was timing the question, which was a wrong strategy from my end. Now what I did was I took a few passages from e-GMAT, from the old GMAT question banks, and I said I put on a timer of 30 minutes and 15 questions, inclusive of reading the passages.
Good.
So that's
2 minutes per question.
2 minutes per question. I was actually earlier I was getting lenient of myself, and I was saying, okay, the reading time is separate. Now I'll get 2 minutes to answer the question separately. 2 minutes to answer the question. I said no leniency this time. Now we keep 2 minutes per question along with the passage. So I spent 4 minutes to read the passage, spent less than 30 seconds or 45 seconds to answer the questions. Okay, so it was working like magic for me. And wow. I wouldn't be surprised if I get an ESR for this 740 score and see that my RCs are off the charts.
Yes, I can imagine that. I think you should do that. Just to make sure that you close the loop over there.
Yes.
And I can really see that your RC ability in Scholaranium was 74 percentile.
Yes. So that was when that was I think a week before the test. So I told you, right, my earlier RC ability was 49%.
Yeah.
49%. So it went up to 70%. And that was because earlier I couldn't finish the RCs on time. That was the reason for my 49%, right? So I maybe had 2 minutes left on the clock, and I had one whole passage to read and complete the answers for on the verbal ability section, on the RC ability section. So yes, that was the challenge I felt, and this is how I mitigated it. Time yourself sectional wise. That's what I did.
So you've kind of allude to kind of doing all of this practice now. Did Scholaranium fare in how you practiced?
Yes, pretty much. So earlier, actually, I wasn't paying much attention to these Scholaranium ability quizzes because I wasn't doing well. I was trying to not get underconfident, not get bowed down by the Scholaranium scores. But later, I felt that I should have understood what Scholaranium ability scores were trying to tell me. They were trying to gauge my real ability, and I was trying kind of disregarding them. So in the second attempt, I really paid close attention to my ability scores on the Scholaranium. Okay, so the best thing about Scholaranium and ability quizzes is that you are given a certain amount of time, not 2 minutes per question for SC. Let's say it's around 1 minute 15 seconds or 1 minute 30 seconds for SC questions, for completing 15 SC questions.
Yeah, it's 90 seconds, yes.
Yeah, about 1 minute 30 seconds.
Yes.
So that's something I should be targeting instead of the 2 minutes which I was targeting per question in the verbal section. Obviously, that is why I was going off the time limit and trying to guess of a few questions, finish the test. That is what I was trying to do. So yes, my mistake earlier was to disregard the Scholaranium, disregard the verbal ability scores. But I learned from it. I made sure that I was taking learnings from the ability scores of those quizzes. Yes, and apart from that, the from the SC sentence correction part, I figured out that my comparisons was not at my strongest. Okay, even I think I had made the most amount of mistakes in the modifiers easier side of question, not the hard and the but the easier amount of questions. I started practicing those, figuring out what was wrong, what went wrong, and those were the kind of things. And in this process, I was trying to strengthen my meaning-based approach. Forget this based approach. Trying to strengthen because earlier I was taking my time to break the sentence into clauses, trying to understand what each clause meant and assimilate the whole thing together. Now I was doing this whole thing within 30 to 45 seconds. Okay. So that is, and that's something I felt on the test as well. I was probably doing SC questions within 30 to 45 seconds complete.
Wow, that is a huge improvement from what you did in your fourth attempt. Okay, that's very nice, and I think you you basically hit the right performance mode at the right time. Then
yes,
should have been slightly earlier, but yes. So I think you'll take 740 any day.
Yeah, I'll take 740 any day. So between my 690 and my 740, I had scheduled a test in between. But I couldn't take it because I was for an offside duty. I went for an offside duty. I was supposed to come back early, but that didn't happen. So that led to.
So let's talk a bit about that piece. I want to understand. So you said you took your family out. So is it your parents or are you?
My parents. Yes.
Okay. So if you live with your parents or?
No, not really. My parents right now are in Bombay. I am in Gurgaon, Delhi. So this is something of since I've already spent 5 years with my company, they give us a family holiday. They give us a package for the family holiday. So that's how I took them. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. And then, so do you live alone or do you live with friends?
No, I live with friends. I live with two more friends here. We are 3 roommates total, and all of us are giving the GMAT. So my roommate is. So we're all preparing for the MBA program. Yes.
Okay, so then that makes studying easier then.
Yes, for now, and it is competitive as well. So.
Yes. So what kind of scores are they getting?
My friend in the other room got 730. The other one still has to give his GMAT. He's also taken an e-GMAT course, so he's with you guys.
Okay. All right. Well, good luck to him.
Yes.
All right. So let's talk about your business schools. I mean, let me just get the final sheet which has that list. Sloan, Tepper, Kellogg, Ross, Wharton, and operations, supply chain, and analytical tools is what you're looking at. I think Tepper is good, Ross is good in this space. Sloan pretty good, but Kellogg and Wharton are more around marketing and finance. So why Kellogg and Wharton?
Kellogg, so I told you, right, I was feeling of putting in Harvard, Wharton in that phrase, right? So I just wanted to go in and put in something that gave me confidence.
But these are the 5 schools that you put in, but which are the ones that you really want to get in?
So that will be the top 3 schools that you told me: Sloan, Tepper, and Michigan Ross. For my stream, for my future goals. Yes.
Okay, that's good. Those are good schools too.
Yes.
I would just say, always add a safety school. So go to WP Carry as well, apply to WP Carry. It's known for supply chain worldwide. Okay.
Yes.
So, and with your score, you should get a pretty decent scholarship. And
they're giving out free admissions, right? These days now.
Huh?
They're giving out free admissions, right? There's no tuition fees or something like that.
So they do provide full fellowships. Yes.
Yes. So that's
yeah. So and so with Ross, Amazon takes more people from Ross than from any other place.
Oh, is it? Okay, I didn't know that. Yes.
Yeah. So Amazon also is their biggest employer. So and again, so WP Carey is really, really well known in supply chain. I think it's in US it's number 2 or 3 in supply chain.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, and it's a school where which could be one of your safety schools too. So but yeah.
I should.
So, and how are you approaching your admissions right now?
So, right, okay. When I third 690, as in the third test, when I got the 690, I took on admissions consulting, and we prepared the resume that is in front of you right now. And we prepared our essays and everything together, right?
Okay.
So, right now, I haven't really decided as to how to go about it. Okay. But I saw that webinar on Applicant Lab, and I've taken that 2 weeks trial for Applicant Lab, and I'm trying to go through that. It seems pretty nice to me for now.
It's a very nice
but it seems nice. It gives me the same amount of feedback and that I used to get from my previous.
So who did you work with previously?
I mean, this was. I forget the name. It was who's written the book? Samir Kamath.
Samir. You worked with Samir. Okay, yes.
But I didn't work directly with Samir, but with his company. I don't remember.
Oh, I know who the other. I have heard of the other guy. I don't know him. I know Samir personally. Yes.
Yes, Crystal Ball.
Crystal Ball. Yes.
Yes, those guys I worked with. I worked with them for the Tuck application.
Okay.
Right. That's what that.
Okay. So I just as an overall piece, I would say your resume seems more busy than I would like it to be. It just seems like that you're trying to put a lot in there. Things don't stand out. So
I agree. After I saw Applicant Lab's resume
webinar,
I think I agree with those comments that you made right now. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot in there, but it's just that after looking at it, I'm overwhelmed. I get that impression that you're a solid guy, but I don't know what I'm walking away with. To really say solid guy, what are the 3 things that I remember about Nishant?
Okay.
That part isn't coming out.
Right.
And
I'll take that up with my new resume.
Yes. So I want to be able to see that overall. That I need to be able to and yeah. So somehow add a summary part to it, or I don't know how you would go about doing this. I haven't looked at a ton of resumes right now, but I know when I'm reading something what I'm getting out of it.
Right.
And that isn't coming out.
Okay.
So another thing that I would really recommend is look at LinkedIn profiles of a few folks who've applied to, who are currently studying at Ross or Tepper, or MIT, look at how they highlight their profiles and what comes out of their profiles. And then it'll give you an idea based on what you achieved, what should come out of your profile to get a much more clear picture.
That's a great idea. I'll do that.
So one of the other things